Hey guys, Cameron for 15, back at it with another video for you guys. Back watching more Red Ranger content, which is absolutely hilarious. It's interesting to see where this show is going, and it's definitely a funny show that man, again, this whole idea about essentially the Red Ranger basically being in isekai world is very hilarious, and it's something that definitely, it's just a blast to watch, and I definitely can't wait to see um where this show is going to be going forward. So yes. Listen, man, Yidhra and our boy, the Red Ranger, their relationship is absolutely hilarious. Like, the one funny gag is kind of the whole thing of this teamwork and having the bonds and overcoming the fears and the doubts that you may have. And it obviously leads to a funny, moment at the end of the episode. But you like start at the end of the episode, she's just in utter shock and awe about how strong this dude is. And like she wants to know, like, okay, what's the secrets behind this dude's powers? I need to analyze his blood. I need to do this. I need to do that. And she legitimately pulls out a needle. And this dude is like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna mess with that. I don't do needles. So he's basically like Goku. Because that was the ongoing gag. Goku does not like needles. But it's funny because it leads into a whole scene to where she's literally on top of him and she's like, "You're gonna take this needle right now." And he's like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And it's funny because you have these other people, they're just like, can you not do that? That's not appropriate to do that because the way she's positioned on top of him, it was absolutely hilarious. But basically the main gist of this episode was we see the two guys from the first episode was kind of like talking trash about Yidra's father and everything and how bad of an adventurer he is and everything. And Yihdra gets very upset by this, which was funny because she was literally scaring them off with the glaze that she was giving. Like she was giving like this damn death glare. She was just like, you people are gonna die for what you're saying. But regardless, I found that absolutely funny. But she wants to prove to these dudes like, no, what I want you to apologize for what you're saying about my father. My father is not this like you say he is. But see, listen, I'm gonna prove to you, I'm gonna prove to both of y'all that my father was actually this. All these things happened to him, but I know even though he lost like the scepter and everything, he still worked very hard, and I looked up to that because he wanted to help and save people. And that's why I live my life after him. So it looks like they're gonna come to blows. Red is like, listen, listen, guys, listen, come on. Let's not fight here. Let's settle this in a friendly competition. So their competition is basically who can kill more bad guys in the dungeon. And the dudes are like, we know this dungeon like the back of our heads. And when we win this thing, this woman will be able to freaking please us with basically her body. So clearly, it's clear that some guys, it's gonna probably be a trope that some guys are gonna hit on Yihdra because of her assets. It's absolutely hilarious, but you know, you just have it, and it's funny because you get this one part when they first enter the dungeon. These two idiots are just like, yeah, as long as we don't make any noise, these dang minotaurs won't come out. This man, Red, transforms into his Red Ranger form and makes all this noise doing it. And all of a sudden, these Minotaurs show up. They're like, "What the hell are you doing?" And it's absolutely funny. It's because of the explosion. So every time this man transforms, this gigantic explosion happens. So him and Yihdra are taking out some of these Minotaur. Now Yidra's having some trouble keeping up and everything. This dude is obviously taking them out easily, and Yidra's like, "Look, we need to go all out and everything." And oh my goodness, this man summons the Megazord within the dungeon. And of course, because they're in a dungeon, the Megazord can't fit fully, and the thing's all like stuck in there. And it literally crushes, at least it crushes a good chunk of the Minotaurs, which I found to be absolutely hilarious with what was happening there, right? Absolutely hilarious. So, what then happens is you have this gigantic, like, skull-looking monster creature show up, and Red tries to freaking attack this thing, but he can tell like it's very sturdy, and it makes him flash back and remember like, oh, it reminds me of this one time we went up against this like ice monster. So you get a flashback to when his when his teammate Blue was like handling this ice monster that apparently she was a human at one point, or she was one of these like antagonists that they were going up against that was I guess also a human. So it seems like in this universe the humans can also be like the bad guy monsters too. And it seems like Blue in their group was like a player or something. Like he goes on all these dates and everything, and this ice monster was actually like his date, and they ended up like I guess breaking up or something because she was sick of the fact like he wasn't being a good boyfriend or something. Like I forgot one line of comment she said. They were arguing about like, I think it was like something to do with payment or something like that, which was absolutely funny. Red ends up showing up and he's like, listen, you can do it, Blue, and everything. You got to believe in yourself and have all these bonds. And it's funny because Yihdra in this flashback is kind of as like, um, I don't see the correlation, but this is why are we doing this right now when we're in danger? But basically, it's the whole thing to introduce another typical Power Ranger staple is when all the Power Rangers come together, they combine their like, their special weapons that they use to make one big gigantic cannon blaster, which they typically use in the Power Rangers show to be able to defeat the enemy if they're basically small and everything, or typically they do it before, they go gigantic, right? But that's what you get here. You get their little freaking cannon blaster. Now, at first, it doesn't work because their bonds and everything ain't strong, and they don't even have like conviction. Like, and it's mostly probably coming from the two other dudes that they're kind of afraid at the moment. But, that's the thing. And you just have it to where Red gets knocked away by this gigantic skull creature and actually deforms him out of his Power Ranger form. So there are monsters out there that can deform him and damage him out of his Power Rangers form, and because which is pretty good to know that like, okay, yes, this dude's strong, but he can't go up in here taking all these isekai monsters and be able to like win fairly easily. Like some of the tougher ones, they'll actually give him a challenge. And like for a fact, at the end of the episode, we see the swordsman, which we see in the opening, which the opening looks really good. I like the music and everything. But we see the one blue-haired swordsman guy. He beats this monster, the same as that monster, in like one hit, in one slice. And Red, it took them to do a cannon blast to defeat it, right? But Yidra's obviously worried about Red, and she's going to use healing magic. And when it looks like the monster's about to attack Yidhra, the two bumbling idiots come in and save, and she's like, why are you doing this? And they're like, I know. He's like, we got to do what we got to do and everything. It's only fair that we do this. And it's absolutely hilarious. And I think at one point, like, she ends up saving them, and they're like, wait, why'd you save us? And she's like, well, I needed to save you. I didn't want to save you, but I had no choice. It's the right thing to do. But also at the same time, I want to see you apologize to me about speaking bad things about my father, which was funny because she legitimately could have just had them die and she could have gave no F's about it. But she's like, yeah, I just basically want you to, I basically want you to, I want y'all to, apologize to my father and apologize to me about what you said about my father, and then everything's fine. But essentially she ends up healing Red. Red basically saves her in the nick of time, and is basically carrying her, got his arm wrapped around her. Also, another funny thing is they also make the mention of like they're clearly like, well, one, she's clearly into him, she's slowly but surely getting into him, and they're definitely shipping him. I don't know about him. He seems a little bit more dense than she does, because this man at some point he said like, look, I know Yidra's kind of rude and everything, but listen, you know, she at the end of the day, she got a beautiful personality, right? And she's like, wait, what? And she gets all flustered and everything. She's like, wait, you think I'm beautiful? And it's funny because the two idiots are just like, bruh, can y'all stop flirting with each other? So it's clear that they're setting up a romance between Red and Yidra. I don't know if they'll go and fulfill this relationship. Right now, our boy is dense as hell. He's kind of just saying these things out of his mouth and not really picking up with the fact that he's saying some, I guess you can say, things where she can be like, oh, because remember from the last episode, she started to like feel some sort of way when he started talking about love and everything, right? Um, but he ends up at the end saving her and is holding her and everything in his arms. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, you're so close." She's getting very flustered. Again, they're shipping this whole Red Yidra relationship, right? And then they finally do the canon thing again. It works this time because their convictions are 100%. And I just found it absolutely hilarious in two aspects of the scene. They say the freaking, V cannon blaster attack, to release it. And then after they destroy the freaking monster, they all do the fucking poses. And Yish was just like, why am I doing this goddamn pose? Why are we posing right now? This show is absolutely priceless, bruh. The moment they started doing the typical like Power Rangers pose after they take down the villain and everything, I'm just like, ain't no way they're just doing that. I'm like, ain't no way. And it's funny because the other dudes are like, we just doing it to the dude. I don't know why we're doing it, but we're doing it. So that's the funny thing. But they basically find out like this monster was actually like this man or whatever they see. So they take him back to the guild. They put him in a bed, and basically the dude's like, "All right, we'll catch you guys later." And Red is like, "Well, good job, Yidra. You made some good friends now, and everything, right?" And basically it was him saying like, "See, you gotta give everything a chance, and when you overcome them challenges, it really can help you get even better, right?" And then it's funny because you're just like, yeah, that's you're actually right. That's good. That's great. And she pulls out the shot with the needle and everything. She's like, well, if that's the case, if I can do it, then you can finally overcome your challenge too. And then this dude Red gave the most priceless smile, like, oh shit. And then he's like, I don't want to do that shot. I can't do it. I can't handle the needles. And he's like, well, you got to overcome your challenges. You got to do it. And he turns into this Red Ranger form, creating all this chaos, trying to run away from Yihdra getting the shot. I think that was probably the funniest part of the episode too, where this man is basically telling like Yihdra, like, yeah, look, you've done it. You've overcome it. You're handling your challenges and everything. And then this woman just immediately is like, okay, you want to be like that? Well, then let's go out here and you're going to get this shot. And this man is like, oh, hell no. That's absolutely hilarious. But this show's good. The episode ends off with that one dude. He ends up escaping and he turns back into that freaking creature again. And we see the swordsman from the opening, the blue-haired swordsman, who probably will join their party in the next episode, show up and basically take care of this dude with ease. But regardless, Red Ranger in Another World is absolutely hilarious. I love Red. I love Yihdra. This show is funny as hell. Listen, man, I love Go Go Loser Ranger, but right now this shit is I am really liking this show. It's gonna be interesting to see if I'm gonna like this show a lot more than Go Go Loser Ranger, but we'll see. We will see. But anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Red Ranger and Another World content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. So then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or your night or whichever this video. Till then, guys, peace.